just the reality. Like people have we ignore church hurt too much, and we have to make it real. Like church hurt is real. Church hurt
Bro,
really be
that's a
affecting people.
point. That's a solid point in itself because like even the conversation of like the gifts we had this last week's episode. Like,
Mm,
people are very closed off just to even entertain that. And not to throw Elijah on the chopping block, but like 5 years ago, bro, yo, you tell this man you got a word from God, he'd be like, you got a what?
Hey, yo.
He look at you like,
yeah.
you got a word from God? Like, yeah, was it the Bible?
Yeah,
I was-
look, me. I've known Eli for some years. I know definitely what you mean. But honestly, I was in the same boat. I was in the exact same
Say,
boat.
yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I wasn't even good at receiving words. Like sometimes, like people, like I was just at church today. Somebody prayed over me. Like it's like I had to be like, yo, like I wanna believe that God is like a physical healer.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what I'm prepared for. Because I was like,
Watch
yo,
last
I
week's
don't.
episode, bro.
I don't. But like the thing is, like that's what I struggle with. I'm just be transparent. That's what I struggle with. I feel like he's done things around me, but I don't know if it's like for me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just been something that I've been struggling with. Something that I want to grow in.
Yeah, yeah.
But there has like it's like so I just I have to grow in that faith and allow myself to work in that. Um but it just it's like there is that aspect where it's like people don't take enough discernment and just say, "Yo, like you're healed, get up and walk," and then the person don't do it. It's
Yeah.
like and but also on the same end, it's just it's hard to really battle through that because especially when it comes to people doing because if it's in person, I think that's a lot different than if you do it online. But even if you do it online, it's like you don't know. Maybe like it's like maybe you're just stepping on the spirit because we can be wrong in the spirit. That's a fact. I learned that being with a group of people who I know, who I really appreciate. Like they are like they went to a church that was like all about the Holy Spirit, and I was like, yo, this is definitely not what I always was around. So it was like, but sometimes even when they were wrong, they were like, "Oh, look, at least we're trying to understand the spirit," and because
Ooh, that's wisdom right there.
we
That's
don't.
wisdom.
So it's like at the same time we have to take those steps in the spirit. Like we have to be willing to be wrong. Like we have to be active in the spirit. We have to be willing to be wrong sometimes. But
Dang, bro. Yo, we gotta have this man back on the pod, bro.
Damn, bro.
yeah,
Yo, what did Shelby Abbott say? Spiritual yummies, bro. That's some yummies right there, bro.
yeah.
Yo, what's crazy too that it's like one time there's like this dude in my church like after church I just go and pray for people, right? Like
hmm
I don't go to a super charismatic church. I'm like I go to an Acts 29 church, so
mm
pretty in the middle. But yeah, like one day I just walked up to this dude who's like I guess he's a deacon at the church, and I'm just like, hey, can I pray for you, brother? He's like I was like I just want to pray for you. He's like he put his hands up. He's like, you don't got any specific word from God for me or something, right? Like, cause I don't want, I don't believe that. And I was like, no, honestly, I just wanted to pray for you, like I just had the
hmm
urge to pray for you. And bro, I was so like dumbfounded in that moment. Cause I was like, I've never seen somebody get a Christian. I've never seen a Christian get apprehensive for prayer. And I was like,
hmm
and it wasn't until that moment because I was like, this is real, bro. This is real.
hmm
People really, really got church hurt, especially with a lot of the gifts and stuff like that. So that's definitely real, bro.
hmm
Dang. Dang. We definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so crazy, bro. Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, we got to get Rain the Governor again, bro.
But yo, just that with you just saying that, like I immediately thought of my past self of just like if someone's like, yo, I gotta like a word from God or pray for him, it's like,
Bro,
no.
the man used to look at me like this. This guy right here, bro, he used to look at me like, yo, what are you saying right now, bro? I can't even
Yo.
associate with you, bro. It used to be crazy, bro. That KCH couch was different, bro.
Hey yo,
Mhm.
to talk about how we feel about the spiritual gifts and all that other stuff. But bro, can I talk about like the cringiest like Christian things that I'm like I think we hinted on a little bit like as far as like taking.
Mm.
But what I think is the most like I feel like we are going way off the questions that we even have. So it's
We
whatever, right?
straight, bro. We straight.
Hey
You
yo,
good?
we here with
Uh,
it.
the
Yeah.
the cringiest thing that I see like from Christians is like mostly in the TikTok realm, right? Where
Mm.
have like you have 18, 19, 20-year-old, Christians, right? Like, and I don't want to, I think they're genuine. I think that what they're doing, that they believe that, hey, this is for the of the kingdom, and cool, whatever, right? Willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong that, hey, like, in what I'm saying right now, but I think that, when you have like these like young people that haven't really been through life, right? And would consider myself a young person, right? So that's why I think with teaching and stuff like that, I'm very cautious on it. But I'm like, if you're young and you're teaching like through TikTok, through a platform is like, hey, like, I'm like, trying to say like, hey, these people aren't saved, or these people like, whatever. It's like very cringy to me. 'Cause I'm just like, yo, you haven't been through enough life, and like I understand, like, yo, being like Jeremiah in the Old Testament, he, a young prophet, right? And God, and like, Jeremiah was apprehensive, like, I don't know if I can do this. And God was like, hey, like, don't, you're young, you can't do this. You can do this, right? But when I see young Christian TikTokers, right, and they just like they post on like social media on TikTok, and it's like it's just bad. It's just terrible. Like, I'm just like, I don't know if we should be doing this. Like, I think we should go life a little bit, but like this is
Ruslan said one day he said, honestly, I wouldn't even be part of a church where the pastor's under 35 years old. And I was like, that's crazy. But the basis of that is like is wisdom too, because not saying a pastor can't be young, but it's like a pastor is somebody who's called for wisdom, right? To shepherd. And it's like, how are you gonna shepherd a whole bunch of people that are like more knowledgeable in the gospel, more in the faith than you and stuff? Like, you got to take time, grow, be discipled. Like, I believe that. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be part of a church, because I'm pretty sure I was part of my church and my pastor was well under 35 at a point in time. Now he's like 39, but like, it's just like it's like the wisdom aspect of there, like they've been through so much more. It's like, I'd much rather listen to somebody who's been walking with the Lord faithfully for 60 years than somebody who's been walking with the Lord faithfully for 6 months. Not saying that they can't have knowledge, but like, it's just it's a wisdom thing, right? Like they can lead me in with their own experience, like,
and that's and one of the things that I find is like super problematic, because when I was in a Christian organization when I was in college, we were always talking about how to get it, because there's that what's it called? Because I think Ruslan was talking about it, like the level of zeal, like you get that high zeal and then you end up in the valley, like you end up in the valley of despair. Like, and if you don't plateau, like you end up there, and it's like this. I feel like there are too many Christians making content out of zeal, and then they end up getting influenced. They end up getting following, and then they're like, I gotta be bold, I gotta be out there, I gotta be blah blah blah, like Paul, or like the prophets and stuff. It's like, I got a word the other day. I was thinking about it. It's like, we talk about Paul and like the disciples and all those who died for the faith and whatnot all the time, but and those are the people who are proud. They're willing to die for the faith. But there are, for that faith, for the stories of what these other people were telling them. Like when Paul went on and told a nation or a group of people about Jesus and what he did, they had to move that faith somehow without getting killed themselves. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like some of these people, they didn't have connections. They wasn't Paul. They wasn't going around traveling. They wasn't a nomad. Like, some of them had family. Some of them had to do all this stuff, but then still push the faith. Some of them got to be underground. Some of them got to move that faith.
I hear manga ideas coming out of this episode, bro.
So it's like, so at the end of the day, it's like not everyone got to be a martyr. Like, not everyone's got to be like, I'm gonna speak as boldly and as loudly as I can. Some people gotta make a story and throw a little bit of Christian in there. Like you don't always have to just dump the gospel in all your creation. It's like, because sometimes you gotta make your way into the space. If I came into a convention looking like the Pope, being like, you sinning, you gotta put on some clothes, here's a Bible for you. Like get that blunt out your mouth. No, they ain't smoking in there, but I'm just saying, like it's like whatever they doing up in there is
So
flipping over convention tables because like there's like head tie on it or something. I can't like I'm gonna get kicked out and I'm gonna look crazy and I'm gonna have a felony on my hand.
So
It's
so
like
Noah, let me follow up that, right? So I feel like there's a lot of like the American Christianity culture that's like it seeped into that, right? So it's like I
mm,
feel like there's active places in the world where people have to be like a little bit more under wraps, right? Where they got to
mm-hmm,
move different. They have to form genuine relationships. And I say this almost every week. There's missionaries in this world right now going to places that are remote, cut off from the world, and they don't even speak English. And
exactly.
they don't have the internet, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm,
those missionaries, their first plan isn't, hey, let me just go and dunk on these people. These missionaries, their first objective, learn the language, learn the culture, right?
Mm.
Then they form relationships once they know the language, and then they use that to implement the gospel into the culture. So
mm-hmm,
and we try to change this in American society, and I've said this time and time again. Paul did not do that, and we have a prime example in the head coverings, right? The head coverings of
mm-hmm,
the church in Corinth. Like Paul did not sit there and just go against their customs. He's like, cover your head,
Mm.
cover your head. But that's not a charge to the whole church. That's Paul adapting to the culture that he's in, right?
mm-hmm,
And then preaching what he has to preach, because I'm not saying culture over Christ. I'm not saying that at all. But
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying is there's just a level to doing things, right? And it's like
yeah,
in our American like way of thinking, it's like business, business, business. Like I gotta get in there, I gotta seal this deal, I gotta do this, right? I gotta get these numbers, I gotta do that. Even like working, doing like missions work and going on missionary trips. Like I gotta raise this support, I gotta raise this support, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. But it's like that's like a part of our Americanness in there, right? So it's almost as if like we got to go back grassroots, man. And I feel like that's how the church has always been successful. We don't see success where the church is ruling in power and forcing people, and then because what comes out of that is nominal Christianity. We get a level of
mm-hmm,
nominal Christianity. I feel like what needs to happen is we need to form genuine relationships. You look at Jesus Christ, he was forming genuine relationships with prostitutes, like
mm-hmm,
literal prostitutes, and saying your sins are forgiven. Like,
mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't just cast them out. It's grace, man. Grace and love and truth and all of that. All right, I'm done, bro. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's like I think that there is such a need because there's two things I think about one from a verse in Acts where it was talking about what Paul I think it was Acts it's like and Paul was it said Paul like live like a Jew like a regular Jew just not to confuse other people like he was just following the law for the sake of not confusing everybody.
Mm.
And then also it says in Romans how it's like we shouldn't argue over foolish things. So it's there are some things that I think that we the hill we need to die on. I've been hearing Ruslan say that a lot. Like it's like is that a hill I
Shout
want to
out to
die on?
Ruslan. Shout out to Ruslan, bro.
He always come up in every conversation. It's like he always come up. But no, it's like is that a hill you want to die on? Is that somewhere where you want to stay? And is that the kind of content that you want to make? Because at the end of the day, when your content becomes cringy, is when you're speaking to the echo chamber.
Mm.
There
Yep.
is no
You're forcing yourself to make that content.
there's no if you're gonna be out there like because you know what if you're trying to edify other Christians like okay fine but then like you have the people who are like trying to confuse Christians within the Christian space but then it's like if you trying to say oh I want to reach people I want to reach the lost like then you but like you're only making content that is like referring to a Christian lifestyle. That's when you become awkward to the people because you're starting to get in there for your post and you see I don't know on TikTok I've seen all the time people be like yo this is definitely the wrong page for me Like, and it's like, because they're like, yo, where did the heck this come from? And I'm like, I'm cool with the gospel getting out to people, but like, you need to do it in like, I think we should always try to strive to do it in a way that really helps people understand, they get a grasp of things. If you're gonna defute somebody's argument against the gospel, fine, like speak boldly as possible, because we don't want people confused out here.
Yeah.
Because there's deconstructionists and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, defute those people. Like tell them they wrong. Like bet. Like, because they're trying to confuse people and lead people astray. Like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
But
you know what's a
when-
good example, a really good example of what you're saying, bro? You ever heard the song "All White Party" by Aha Gazelle, bro? I feel like he did that so beautiful, bro. That's art, Lige. That's literal art. He was like unapologetically Christian, but like, you know, he coded it so well in like his lyricism. What were you gonna say, Lige? My bad, I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I love that song,
bro. All white, yo, go listen to "All White Party" by Aha Gazelle. This is a prime example, of, in my opinion, how Christians should approach content and creating. You know.
Yeah, and it's like, and I need to listen to that song because I don't know where that one was from, but it's like, but yeah, it's just like when we create and we start, like, you know, speaking to the echo chamber, and then people realize, yo, like, I'm not, and let's say, like, these are the Christians, like, they're on their high of zeal, and like they're doing all this stuff, and they're like blah blah blah, and then they're like, man, I really got to reach a loss, but they're getting slowly to that point of like decline. Like, that's when they start being like, they start coming out here, like, you know, cussing, smoking, and doing all that stuff. It's like, yo, I'm just trying to reach a lost people. Lead them to what, bro? Like it's like you start doing exactly what they doing, and you're saying, I'm just trying to reach the lost. Lead them to what? Like, they come to you, all right, bet. You go to them, and you're definitely gonna get them, and they gonna follow you. But where are you taking them? Because you already missed the train, bro. But like, you got off the train to go to.
Yo, Lige, we gotta get sound effects, bro. We gotta get sound effects on here,
like,
bro.
It's like you was on the road to glory, and then you hop off to get on the dark path to be like, yo, I'm reaching the lost. Yeah, you reach them. Actually, you're with them, and you sitting with them. It's like you sitting in this.
Yo, Chad, weren't we just having a conversation about this?
Bro, Friday, we literally hopped on a phone call saying this exact same thing.
Yeah, to me, it's like you can't be like, and this is, like I said, I feel like personally, this is a result of the inability to have discernment and understanding of like how your content is, like, because you really want to reach the lost, but you think Christianity is too cringy, too corny, not cool enough, not able to do da da da.
The gospel needs no gimmicks.
And exactly, and then on top of that, you just hopped into that aspect in zeal, like you were like, oh, I just got saved, just got hit with the Holy Spirit, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna do all this da 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 da. No. You get hit with that, you sit to the side, bro. You start getting raised up, you start getting put up, you start getting built up. There's no, like, I think it's great that there's a young generation who's zealous for Christ. I love it, and I'm for it, and I encourage any young person who's trying to strive for Christ. But there's no way y'all went through the word enough in your life enough for you to start telling people how to free yourself from this or do that. That, like, it's like there be people, you 19, and it's like, I understand people can go through things. I believe that, and I understand that. But it's like, there aren't this many 19-year-olds being like, yo, man, I was going through it, and then the Lord reached me, the Lord touched me. It's like, bro, I never even had a full relationship with a girl when I was 19. Like, I don't understand, like what these kids are going through. And some of them be like in Beverly Hills type looking houses.
Yeah.
And you say like, yeah, you know, I just overcame a lot of the Lord. I'm just gonna tell you guys how to get over this, how to get over that, bro. Like, just because you became zealous for the Lord doesn't mean you have to start teaching. Because James literally says, don't all of you try to become teachers. because you will be heavily scrutinized.
You know, even in that, I feel like there's some people that explicitly they say like, don't look at me as a pastor or anything like that, and I respect that. Like if somebody makes a statement saying that like, oh, I'm a Christian, but don't use me as an example, and they explicitly say that, I feel like it's a different case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
But no, that's definitely real in what you're saying, because it's like, bro, wisdom, bro. I feel like we got to tap in with wisdom, man. I feel like wisdom is definitely a big thing. And yeah, man, that's definitely a solid point. You gonna say something, Lesh?
Yeah. So I think we covered a few different like